Alrighty, everybody, so this is it. The finale. Now, if you remember, I actually started at this exact point with Carnby before finishing the game. And it took 1 hour to beat the game from this point. Let's see if it'll take 1 hour to beat the game with Emily.
Miss Hartwood, lock the door, will you? I'd rather not run into dear Dr. Gray if I can help it.
This feels strange. So very strange.
Wait a minute. It's different. It doesn't have... Take a look. When Carnby came in here and met Emily, Emily was searching around, and there was a bureau right there, and he opens the bureau, there's nothing in it. He found a secret thing, and it enabled a portal through the bureau. There's no bureau this time.
You okay?
This place? It's like something from my childhood.
It's just a private study of a very peculiar man.
That it? I can't move. What more? More dialogue?
I think this is it. I'm properly mad.
You should be. Dr. Gray's playing with fire. Derceto's a powder keg of loonies, all ready to play their part in a murderous cult.
And why? Because of the mold. Nothing here is real at all, I don't think.
I'm trying to say I've lost my mind, Detective. The Hartwood curse has caught up with me.
I'm sure you're exaggerating. Try to focus on whatever you've been doing.
Right. Breaking the Dark Man's contract. Does it even matter anymore?
No. No, it doesn't. Okay. Now I think we do this book over here to the bookshelf. A false book. Myth of the Golden Fleece. A hollow book.
There's a book missing.
A secret door.
Oh, that's different.
Looks like it.
Careful.
Oh, wait, never mind. Maybe the bureau's in this next room. I think the bureau's in the secret room. That's right. We haven't been in there yet. Yes. Yep, there's the bureau.
Now we're talking. Great job, Emily.
So, if I had gotten all the collectibles, I would have had a secret ending for Emily here. Right here. Furniture key.
I can't believe I didn't see that before.
Yeah, so what would have happened is, I guess you would have been able to use an item that you would have found in this room on this thing here, and it would have, like, melted away and given you, like, a vision and a secret ending. This is the room where the secret ending is enabled, but I don't have it because I missed the one Lon Yap the entire game. It's ridiculous. Okay.
Found anything?
Oh, Dr. Gray's in so deep, I knew it. He's as mad as his patients. I mean, look at this. She who can till the soil of this sick world and begin again. The black goat of the woods with 1,000 young. Absolute insanity.
I have the strangest sensation that this is somehow Jeremy's room.
What? No. This is Dr. Gray's private quarters.
What about she thinks it's Jeremy's room?
I feel... I want to apologize, Detective, for my elusive behavior tonight. I'm glad you haven't given up on me and my uncle yet.
Ah, you got nothing to apologize for. In fact, you've been out of my hair for most of the evening, you're self-reliant, and you've been helping with your own particular brand of investigation.
What does that mean?
As far as I'm concerned, you're an exemplary client.
Thank you, Edward. Mr. Carnby.
Basically says you stand out of my hair. That's all he's saying.
Good to finally meet you, Mr. Hartwood. I'm here on the behalf of your brother Philip. You were expecting me, weren't you?
Yes. You're from Derceto, no?
That's right.
Alright, we already know that. We read that from the Carnby side. It looks identical.
This has something to do with the numbers for the talisman.
Snake dagger. We know about this as well.
A monograph by Yayo
They said you have to
Klein.
stab him in the eye to stop him being possessed. And now the phone rings. He's moonwalking. What the hell? Did you see that?
Hello? Who's there? Jeremy?
Jeremy is with the Dark Man. You can't save him.
Jeremy is with the Dark Man? Where? Who is he? What is the Dark Man?
The Heartwood curse. He will come for you too.
Oh, and there's the clock. Oh, I need it to look like it looked in the other room. There we go. I looked on the floor in the other room. You know, some of the reviewers complained about the puzzles in the game. I don't think I had many problems. Maybe one puzzle was a tad bit tricky, but they weren't that bad. I don't know why people just complained about them.
You heard the telephone ring, right?
No, the telephone's cut off. I tried calling the police earlier.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, you're nuts. It's the mold. Oh, that's not good. She's teleporting.
Hey, Mr. Carnby?
What?
Nothing, right?
It's a closet?
That's right, Detective. I'll see you later. I have to finish this.
You're going inside the closet?
Yes.
I know what it looks like, but I can't explain it, much less justify it.
All right. You do what you have to do, miss.
Goodbye, Detective.
Do you think she's gonna go die? Alright, the final segment. If you remember, the frozen area is the final segment where you basically go investigate crazy shit with aliens. Yes, aliens. Flare gun that helps us get through the area where we can't see. Flares full. Okay, off we go. The Greenland Expedition. We already read this. So they found this thing out here. That's where we're going. Going. Light on. Machine gun cartridge. The edge. We're gonna move further back this way. Two. Not this way, I think. No. Oh, here we are. We already made it. Pretty easy. I mean, they make it feel like it's going to be some big, tricky thing you'll get lost in. In reality, it's pretty short. Not a big deal. an alien temple. Drinks are full. Moving slowly, it's too cold. It sucks, only the one part of the game is different. That one part where she has the hallucination of being at war, you know, with her husband, and then the basement of the setup. Everything else is identical in the game to Carnby. So really, honestly, 2 runs, unless you're looking for the alternate endings, not really that big of a deal.
Who are you? What do you want?
Emily, you should not have come.
Yeah, hey, we can talk about this.
It's too late for that. It's too late.
Wow. Well, he killed her. When I played with Carnby, he literally never did anything. He literally didn't attack or anything. He just let me mow him down. In this one, he just viciously murders me. Wow. Wow.
Who are you? What do you want?
Emily, you should not have come.
Yeah, hey, we can talk about this.
It's too late for that. It's too late.
What the fuck is going on? What happened? Oh, what the fuck? Whoa! What the hell? He disappeared. He walked back here and disappeared. And then he teleported behind me and got a cheap hit. What in the holy hell was that? What's up, Game Boy? How you doing? The game totally cheap shotted me there. Alright, so we'll align this thing again. It's a puzzle.
If the Dark Man is going to be in the middle of your existence, Jeremy, then at least set everything in order.
Got a line. Got a line. That's it. Wow, that was easy. That was way easy. Welcome to space. Get sucked. Get sucked the fuck in. Oh boy. So she basically did exactly the same thing Carnby did in the first side. No difference. Nope. See, she thought she had a snake dagger, the whole time it wasn't. It was the freaking lobotomy pick.
I don't understand. Why are you here? I did everything you wanted to break the pact. What else can I do? Wait, it did work. That's why you're coming after me. You're in my head now. In that case, I hope you enjoy your stay.
Uh-oh.
Emily, stop!
Whoa, that's
Don't worry.
different.
We got you.
That was different. In the Carnby side, he beats the shit out of the Dark Man, and then it ends up being the Doctor. In this side, she's gonna commit suicide, and the help stops her. Shit. That's totally different. Was the Doctor not beat up now? Some things seem to fit better for Carnby, and some things seem to fit better for her. Like, I think this story actually fits better for her.
Are you alone? Or is he in there with you?
Talking about the Dark Man.
Miss Hotwood is up.
Heard you almost painted the foyer with your own blood and guts. Good to see you still in one piece. Stick around, will you? It's going to be an exciting night.
Yeah, we'll say. Excuse me.
Good to see you made it, miss. And all that ruckus, Lottie gave you a healthy dose of that sleeping juice. Wasn't sure you'd be waking up again.
What happened?
You had a psychological
Wait a
breakdown.
minute, wait a minute. They
Tried to
never...
shoot yourself.
Hold on.
Sorry for the manhandling, but he just wanted to save you.
You also stabbed Jeremy in the eye.
Is he alright?
He's a little strange, but everything else is back to normal.
Really? I broke the pact?
I don't know what you did, but it worked. Let's see you standing up, miss.
At the beginning of the game, when she first meets Grace, Grace injects her with a drug, remember? And it's never addressed ever again.
Jeremy, are you okay? I'm so sorry for hurting you. How can you ever forgive me?
Emily, I missed you so. I do hope you'll stay with me for a while.
Uncle, what's wrong? Is it anesthesia? He seems so meek.
I wish that was the case. It turns out that you managed to lobotomize him.
Yep, the doctor's not hurting.
It's
this
actually
one.
quite impressive, considering your technique.
This is permanent?
You sacrificed a piece of his mind to save the whole. It's a little like treating a bad knee by cutting off the leg. It's blunt, but it works.
That's terrible.
Perhaps. But at least he won't suffer anymore. Do you remember the Dark Man, Jeremy?
Ah, yes. Where did he go? I hope he is doing all right.
He hopes he's doing all
You
right.
see, with a violent stab, you made any future treatment quite redundant. I assume you will be bringing him with you back to New Orleans.
I will. I just need to find Detective Carnby.
Okay. So here's the thing. So now there's two different things that could have been happening. Number one, like I said early on, before she really had any major hallucinations, she got injected by the girl. What was in that injection? And then on top of that, she found direct documentation in the basement. It's gone now.
Everything
You know, we
was
can't see it now. But she found direct documentation in the basement stating that this mold that's growing throughout the house is making people hallucinate and go crazy. Maybe that's what was really going on all along, right? Now, of course, that doesn't explain what's about to happen in the ending. Or maybe it does. Nice glitch there.
I'll be back soon, Jeremy. Then we'll go back to the city.
How fun. I do like riding in the motor car.
Just exhaust these dialogues, and then we'll do the ending. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the alternate endings, because they're fascinating.
Is there any chance he'll relapse back to his previous condition?
None at all. He is forever cured from all worries and other difficult feelings.
Have you seen Detective Carnby?
I'm sure he's around here somewhere, poking and prodding.
Probably it. Probably the 3 dialogue. You get 3 dialogues, and that's it. So, yep. Saves.
Well done, Miss Hartwood. You officially made Derceto the dullest place in existence again.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be of service. Have you seen Detective Carnby anywhere?
Still chasing that lovable palooka around, are you? I'm sure you'll find him.
Can I write to you when I get back to town?
You are too sweet, Miss Hartwood. I'll look forward to reading all about your tedious routine.
Why should I want to write to her? Doesn't make sense. What? So, you can no longer go back into the house at all, I believe, right? This would be considered locked. Yep. Okay. Nosy Real Vibe said, which did you like better at the climax, Carnby or Emily? Well, we'll see. I think the ending's going to be the same, actually, between the two. I guess we're about to find out. I would say Emily's story fits a little more. Being that you have the Hartwood curse, and she's the one that finds the log explaining the mold. With Carnby, you get to the end here, you're like, I guess everything's crazy. I guess they went to different hallucination dimensions or whatever, and it's all real. You would live to believe it's real. But the Emily side, totally it explains it away, right? Hoon Yol says, there was a chapter select, would you consider doing other endings? Yes, if there was, I would immediately jump to Carnby, and I would do his alternate ending, and I would do hers, but there is none. That's the problem. Like, you have to replay the game again. So, that sucks.
Looks like a storm's coming.
Radio says it could get real bad. Floodings and such.
I should probably get moving before the weather gets worse. Have you seen Detective Carnby?
Not for a while, but he says he's gonna wait for you.
Okay?
Take care, Batiste.
You too, Miss Emily.
I also like the fact that they kind of knew her already. She had been here in the past, you know, they know her as like almost like a family member, as opposed to Carnby, just an outsider.
Good to see you're still with us, miss. Are you hungry?
No, thank you. I'm still a bit woozy.
No gumbo.
Ooh, is that gumbo?
I make it every year. We set up a little feast by the wishing tree and start a new year together.
Have you seen Mr. Carnby?
I haven't seen him for a while. Maybe he left.
Yes, he left you here. What an asshole. Well, he's not getting paid then.
Do you know what's about to happen here?
Just a little ceremony we do each year on the eve of St. John. We raise our glasses to the old wishing tree here and ask for a better year.
Is it all for show? Or do you actually believe the tree can help?
Well, I guess some of us do. I mean, Lottie and Mags are pretty invested. Taking it a little too far, you know.
Sounds like you might be in a cult.
Yeah, I can see how you think that.
That's all he says. He doesn't even respond. I can see how you think that. Okay, you're not going to dispute that?
I almost almost forgot this was here.
The very heart of Deseto, you know. Almost time to call on her.
Her arm's screwed up, I just noticed.
What is it that you do? Is it like the voodoo rituals you read about in the papers?
I don't know, miss. I never saw one up close. My family has always been suspicious of the hoodoo.
The hoodoo. I just realized when she got back from the ship portion, she didn't get into the tub, and the tub didn't turn over, and therefore they didn't run into, you know, the maid there, and she'd get pissed at him for knocking the tub over, and you didn't hear her doing her chanting, the cultish chanting that sounds like a goat neighing or whatever.
You haven't seen Detective Carnby, have you?
No, and I hope he stays away. I don't think he would understand what is about to happen here.
He'll never understand this. Wait till you see it. Wait, what? Why are there two dialogues? Give Grace something to play with. Can we get the secret ending? Okay, hold on. Maybe we could get the secret ending. Maybe we could do one of them. Oh crap, I didn't know we could do this. Alright, let's do both. Do you want to see both endings? I guess we can do it. Secret ending. Nice, we get one. That's cool. I thought we were locked out. This is a weird one, you'll see. I think this girl's got some problems. Just saying.
Hey, kid. What are you up to?
Nothing much.
You notice where they are?
Anything I'm gonna have to pay for? You're bored, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell. You want to see if we can tear your mother away from the play?
Can you believe they're still going? It's been hours. You forgot this.
Well, I just didn't want you to think we had abandoned you in there.
Can we go home?
Yes, please. Can we?
What? You guys didn't like the play?
It was all right. A little difficult to follow.
Oh, I agree. Let's just say there were moments where it left me alone in the dark.
Oh, God.
That's the name of the play.
Whoa, what do you know?
Nah.
Did you like it, sweetie?
There should have been a hedge maze.
A hedge maze?
Uh-huh. And pirates. That would have been fun.
Well, maybe next time.
Do you get it? So they're watching a play. Did you recognize where they were? That was where... Yeah, what just happened? Look, give Grace a present. Alternate ending. So basically in that ending, the entire game is a play, and it's at that place. If you remember, we went to the docks, and so we need the address. We went to the address, and it was the Dark Man, but he was a magician. And that's the magician that Jeremy saw when he was a kid, and it freaked him out. And then he had this vision of the Dark Man in his head stuck for his whole life, and it haunted him. So what it is they just went and saw a play together, and it gave them like all these ideas, and that's the game. But the game is just a play. It's not real, basically, in that ending. Which is kind of weird, don't you think? So we got that ending because we found that set of collectibles that you needed to play twice to get that ending. Okay, that's supposedly a good ending where Grace is actually their kid, and they're actually, you know, married and everything, and the whole game was fake. It's a lame ending, though. You know what that reminds me of? In Silent Hill, sometimes they have the alternate weird endings, like the dog ending or the aliens ending, and those are rare endings that don't really mean anything. That's basically what that ending is, okay? Now, there's 2 more endings to the game, but we cannot get them because, sadly, we cannot get them because, sadly, I missed that one collectible. If I got that one collectible, we could have done the other 2 endings. But it's cool, at least I got one alternate ending. I'm happy about that because I thought that you could only get that... I guess I gotta do this again. I thought you could only get that ending if you were Carnby, but I was wrong. You could actually get that ending as Emily as well. Alright, that was cool. Alright, so we actually don't have to talk to them. Let's just go right to her standard ending. Let's just talk to her a little bit. The dialogue, and then we'll do the standard ending.
What are you doing?
Preparing for the ceremony. This time she will come. I'm sure of it.
We do have to do the final boss fight with the standard ending.
Who's coming, Grace?
The black go to the woods. The mother of 1,000 young.
How exciting. It really is, though.
I hope you find what you're looking for, Grace. Whatever it is that you need.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Why? Okay. That's it. Let's enable it, and we'll do the ending here. The standard ending with Emily. And, then I guess I'll give you my final thoughts. I'll also tell you about the two endings we didn't get.
Y'all know the new words.
Mrs. Thompson, we talked about this. I'm not sure everyone is comfortable.
Doctor, I insist. This is important. We've waited for so long, Doctor.
Let's just go with the old song. Not every change is an improvement.
Boss, good or bad, you need to move forward.
All in, Doc. Let's bet it all.
But we don't know what we're dealing with.
It'll be okay, Doctor. Better even.
Sure. Well, prepare for some violence, everybody, if you didn't see the first ending.
Hell, there are praises in abundance to the black goat of the woods. Hear us, mother. Take pity on us. Take pity on us.
Ever there
praises and abundance to black blood of the woods. Hear us, take pity on us.
If you were to help us, they all said it together. Instead of talking over each other. Help right time.
Hear us.
Yeah, it's great.
What are you doing? This is madness!
This heals with these
She's just a child!
with 1,000 young!
Edward!
Get out, Emily! We're leaving!
No! There has to be a sacrifice!
We're doomed!
Come with me.
Yummy! Very good. Alrighty then. Stop the black, go to the woods.
I have to stop that thing. It's gonna kill everything in its way.
Though the tree was never a tree, it was an alien. Isn't that great? Or a demon. It's not clear. You would think maybe it was an alien based off of the fact that the final segment has you going to this alien thing. But, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go fight it. Game Boys, I don't like the game. It's too scary. What's funny is, I mean, there's some scary parts, but this is actually the scariest part of the game, in my opinion. This final segment is scarier than anything else up to this point.
No, Ruth. Get yourself together, Emily. You have to finish this.
Bodies ripped apart. Oh my god, I can't walk on this one spot. Look, there, finally. Bullets. think I'm maxed on pistol bullets? Yeah, I am. I'm maxed. Alright, let's do it. By the way, this final fight is very annoying. Super annoying. So get ready for me to rage as I probably fail a few times to get it done. It's actually hard for me. So you can imagine how hard it's going to be with Emily. Emily's going to be harder to do with me. Here it comes! one shot. I did it in one shot because I knew what I was doing this time. Nice. Good shit.
Emily, are you all right?
I don't understand anything that just happened. What was that?
The whole gang was a cult dedicated to something called the Black Goat of the Woods. I've been trying to gather as much information as I could. It was only after you started talking about monsters that I thought maybe there was some truth to all the nonsense I was finding.
Where's Jeremy? Uncle! Are you alright?
Everything is out of order. This isn't the way the story goes. I shouldn't be alive.
Yeah.
Don't
What is he
say
talking
that.
about? We still don't know.
You
Who's
made it
Frederic?
out. Be happy. Okay?
Hey, kid. You doing
Hey,
all
kid,
right?
why'd you inject Emily?
It
At the beginning of
wasn't
the
what I
game.
expected, but you can't always get what you want.
Tuh. Wow.
All right, you ready to head back to New Orleans?
Come on, Jeremy. Let's go.
Can I come?
Don't leave her. You have to take her to Hell's Kitchen.
We do?
What on earth are you talking about?
Yeah, why are we going to Gordon Ramsay's reality show? It's weird. Fire. Dun, 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 the way you walk and talk really sets me off. Wow. So we really don't get any answers. It's the same ending as Carnby's side. Wow. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty lame. There's no additional answers for doing both endings. Right? At least I got another achievement. Safe and sound, 60 gamer points. Save New Orleans from the Black Goat. You had to beat both sides in order to do it, apparently. But that's it. Now, we're gonna adjourn, but I want to tell you guys, since obviously you didn't see it, I want to tell you about the other two endings, okay? Now, first of all, I don't know who, after having played both sides, what I can say is we saw more of the full picture. We got to see how Carnby basically had a dark side to him being a detective, and that he had these inner guilts that were haunting him, and you didn't really realize that until the end of the game. On Emily's side, same exact thing. Her guilt is about her husband, who in her mind was kind of remembering, I guess, had died in the war, but in reality he hadn't. He came back and had all these problems, and he went to Derceto to get cured and never got cured, and I guess passed away or whatever. And she basically stopped like looking into him or visiting him or whatever, and it was this guilt over this that was driving her nuts, right? So that's cool. You get to see the different sides of the characters. Also, on the Emily side, you can clearly see that there is a mold infestation in this mansion, and the note explains that previously Derceto had people getting sick, hallucinating, going crazy, and dying from this mold, and that's why they closed it down. Now, you would think, oh, if they're going to reopen it years later, they must have fixed the problem. But as you can see, there is mold over the course of the game growing throughout different parts of Derceto, out of the clock, in the dining room, etc. So maybe the actual story of the game is that none of this is real. But everyone who always goes to Derceto gets overcome with this hallucinogenic mold that makes them see and do weird things, to think about some god that they need to worship and sacrifice other people. And, you know, were Carnby and Emily actually ever in these alternate dimensions that Jeremy was pulling them into? Or was it all just madness brought on by this mold? In addition, Grace injected Emily at the beginning of the game. What was that all about? We don't even know. It was never explained, right? So you really don't know what actually happened in the game. Now, we saw one of the alternate endings where the entire game was just a dream or a play, and actually Carnby and Emily are the parents of Grace, right? That's just kind of a throwaway, what-if weird ending. But the other two endings are dependent on you getting all of the Lagniappes. They're both kind of dark, though, all right? The secret ending for Carnby is that at the end of the game, he decides to side with the cultists. and he says, I'm going to be a part of this ritual. And basically he turns on Emily, and he's been indoctrinated into the cult. And I think it's like Emily does escape, and that's the ending of the game, but it's a very dark ending. Because obviously one of the protagonists, the one you're playing as, goes evil at the end of the game, okay? The other secret ending is for Emily, and in her secret ending, what ends up happening is at the end of the game, all the people start putting on those masks, those masquerade masks, and come to find out they are all denizens of the Dark Man, and I guess the Dark Man comes out again. So what it basically is, what they're implying, is that everyone at the mansion is under the mind control of the Doctor. Because remember, the Doctor is actually the Dark Man in the game, supposedly. And so what that implies is he is a scumbag who basically mind controls everyone there who's supposed to be a patient. And then what happens is Emily says, well, I'm not afraid of the Dark Man anymore, and resiliently like lifts a weapon or something, and that's the end of the game. So it's implied that she's broken through the mind control that the Dark Man had on them the whole game, and there's going to be a final fight, but it never happens, apparently. Like, the game just ends. So all of these different endings aren't really definitive. When you really think about it, like, are any of those endings sound like a definitive ending where you get an answer about really what's going on? You have all these different... First you thought that it was something supernatural with the Dark Man. Then you think maybe it has something to do with aliens, because at the end of the game, you go to that whatever temple thing is at the Northern Lights, right? And you read logs about it. Then all of a sudden the tree turns into a Cthulhu-like monster. It's like, what the hell does that mean? So honestly, I think it really is supposed to be like open to interpretation. But at the end of the day, obviously this Derceto location is a messed up place. You know that they were not all okay. Whether it was the Doctor mind controlling all of them with drugs and hallucinations, whether it was the mold that was making them hallucinate, whether anything really supernatural was ever happening, whether that creature at the end is real, you have no idea. All you know is the place burned down. But what's funny is if you read all the logs in the game, you realize this is like the 4th time that's happened. It keeps referencing different times in history where people come to Derceto, all of a sudden crazy stuff happens, and then the whole place gets destroyed. And then they rebuild it like 20, 30 years later, and it's like an endless loop. It happened with the artists, where a hurricane came through and destroyed Derceto, and it just disappeared. It's like, was it really a hurricane? Or was it actually one of these crazy things happening? What happened to those artists? We have no idea, right? But yeah, so the way I see it, all right, I think it's a good game. I think it's a game that keeps you guessing. I think that the graphics are pretty good for what it is. And I definitely think that the story is enough to keep you hooked on the game and want to keep playing it, right? In regards to the gameplay elements, I think the one real negative shortcoming of the game is that the combat is a little clunky, but I think they did it on purpose. If the combat was more responsive, it wouldn't really be difficult in any way. The final boss is actually quite challenging. The only reason I just turboed through it in this run is because I already knew it from the first run. The first run, it took me like 4 or 5 tries to figure out how to beat that final boss. I didn't know what to do. There's like these phases you have to do exactly what I did. First, you have to shoot it in the weak points. Then you knock to the ground. Got to kill a wave of enemies. Then you got to shoot it in the legs. It falls down. You shoot it in the weak points. It gets up. There's another wave of enemies. You got to kill the enemies. You got to shoot the legs, knock it down, shoot the weak points. You have to do it in that order. If you don't, you run out of ammo, and then you actually can't finish the game. You have to do it over from the start, and there's no checkpoints during that boss fight. I will say this. I liked the game. I'm happy we played it, but man, I really wish that the Emily and Carnby side runs were different. The only difference is the cutscenes, right? Or that one segment where Carnby gets sucked into his past and he's on the bridge, right? Where supposedly he had the father of Grace drive off the bridge because he thought that he was kidnapping his daughter and he was paid to rescue her or whatever. And so he does, but he ends up killing the guy and not saving him. And there's big guilt about that. And there's different enemies and stuff you have to fight there. On the Emily side, she's in the trenches trying to find her husband, only to find out through her own guilt that it was actually, he didn't die in the war. He actually had died here at Derceto because he was sick. That's the only part of the game that's different. Everything else is the same. And that's lame. Like, take a look at Resident Evil 2 that has 2 sides, right? That's, I think, what they should have gone for. Have a game that has maybe some parts that are the same, but when you play as the different characters, it changes it up. It just sadly didn't feel different enough for me to really warrant that second run. If I had known that, I might not have done it. It's kind of disappointing. Thank goodness I beat it in 6 hours instead of the 10 it took the first time with Carnby. But that's because I had already gotten all the collectibles, so I didn't really need to look around for much of anything. I do feel critics treated this game unfairly. Critics were giving this game like a 5 out of 10. This game, at worst, this game is like a 7 out of 10. Personally, I think it's around an 8. It's definitely not tip-top survival horror, but it's also not bad at all. It was a fun game. It was good to play, and it hooked me. The story kept me guessing. I was creeped out in certain parts. I was, the combat was difficult in certain parts. I had a good time with it. I really did. I had a good time with the game. And I think it's unfair that people might have skipped out on it because the reviewers were basically like panning it and slamming it. I think it's a fine game. If you like survival horror, you're going to like it. Keep in mind, it's going to play a little bit more like an outdated survival horror game on purpose, I feel. It was designed that way. But if you like exploring, if you like a suspenseful mystery story with supernatural elements, this game is pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. So I want to say thank you. Whether you only watched my Emily side run, whether you watched Carnby and Emily, whatever you did, thank you. And thanks to those who did support these streams as well. I do appreciate people who do like the kind of stuff that I like, and I love survival horror, even though this isn't the best game in class or whatever. I had a great time with it. So I hope that you all did too. Okay? But this is going to be it. I'm not going to do the alternate endings because I would have to actually go through the game, get to the mausoleum again, find this one collectible, and then beat the game 2 more times to see the 2 endings. I'm obviously not doing that. Okay? All right. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching Alone in the Dark 2024. I hope you enjoyed. By the way, way better than Alone in the Dark 2008. 2008, they tried to reboot this game, and it was a piece of crap. It was insanely buggy. It was full of just garbage. It was a really bad game, and that was one of my earlier games I ever did on YouTube, and I hated it. This is like a far cry from that. They actually put big effort into it. They got actors. They got good production values. The game is quite good. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. See you next time for more survival horror. Peace out.